Insights. Now we bring you a discussion on standard operating procedure for civil aviation during adverse weather conditions. The participants are Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, aviation expert, and Omvesh Upadhyay, anchor.
Amid the concerns of flight delays and cancellations at the airports due to the existing fog conditions, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation (DGCA) issued standard operating procedures for airlines to publish accurate flight delay information on their websites. Listeners, today to talk more on the DGCA's SOP and its significance, we are joined by Wing Commander Praful Bakshi. Welcome to the program, Wing Commander Bakshi.
Thank you very much.
So, Wing Commander Bakshi, to begin the discussion, I would like to take your views on the SOPs, obviously, and what they are, and that there have been moments of chaos at airports due to the delay of flights and miscommunication. In that regard, can you please elaborate on the significance of advanced notifications to affected passengers through SMS and WhatsApp in managing the impact of fog-related disruptions, how they might help, and how significant this particular measure is?
When you're talking of standard operating procedures, no organization, especially aviation, a sensitive organization like DGCA, must operate without SOPs. SOPs is a must. So I would not say that there were no SOPs earlier. There were some, but they have been updated and refined further due to the changing situation, circumstances, population increase, the climate becoming more and more, especially the flying population, the people who fly, is increasing in such a large number that the weight of this complete population on the organization demands changes in SOPs. So SOPs is the most welcome sign that government is taking such positive steps in increasing the SOPs and polishing them up. As in by and by, we'll discuss the SOPs and we will discuss. But the first one which you have said is notifying the public regarding the changes of flight time or due to weather conditions. Now that is a must. This is the most important thing, that the information not only should go to the airport, but the airline must be told this is the information about changes in the weather or non-availability or cancellation. Kindly inform your passengers, and they must do it in a real time where the passengers can react and make adjustments. The person is arriving at the airport and you're telling him about cancellation, is no cancellation. It has to be done earlier. Now, why it cannot be done earlier is what DGCA must look into further. But this is the first one. Notification of information on all aspects, whether flying, maintenance, availability, or whatever they may be.
Absolutely. You very rightly said that the appointment should be of industry experts and professionals who are well versed in timely communications. In that regard, if we take the discussion forward, when we hear about the SOP, that there should be crucial sensitization of airline staff to effective communication in mitigating passenger inconvenience during adverse weather conditions. Because we were listening to various news that people were waiting in the corridors at airport for around 8 hours, 10 hours. So how important is the sensitization of staff who are dealing with the passengers?
Communication is one of the big principles of management. I mean, communication is how you communicate. There are various methods. Not only communication, but there are instruments involved in communication. And how quickly you're communicating your information from the professionals to the public, how the communication is finally carried out to the junior staff, that again is it should be like an art. As a state of art, it should attain. Then only communication works. There are some organizations in foreign where they are running very efficiently. Perhaps they can be studied. You can study those organizations and we can find it out. I personally feel this word communication is very important, and how you communicate down to the thing.
And if we talk about one more measure that was vividly talked in the overall SOPs per se, that was to prevent airport congestion and minimize passenger inconvenience for delays. I want to take your views on this, Wing Commander Bakshi, is that in these cases, you are also talking about that there should be proper communication with passengers, and that particular SOP is also, if flight is cancelled for more than 3 hours, you should term it as cancel and inform the passenger on timely basis. How important it is?
It is very important. If the flight is delayed for more than a certain time, that time can be fixed by further study. 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever the thing is decided. But having decided that, then the public must be told that this rule is running, and you will be told. And when public is told, then it can be done. But again the monitoring comes. Whether the airlines are doing it with the 3 hours, they have been cancellation is done or not. And mere cancellation is not there. The DGCA must understand that what is the resources of the airline. They should have minimum resources. They can't say now we have run out of aircraft, so we are cancelling all flights. They can't do that. If they don't have the wherewithal and they don't have the standard to maintain the rush, especially rush hour during festivals or closing of the year, the New Year, as you see, there's so much of rush is there, or probably due to bad weather. So the airlines must have resources, standby aircraft, etc. should be there. And there should be more provision. Now, which must make sure all around the country that these SOPs are being followed. For example, maintenance, shoddy maintenance. They must make a trip to say Bombay, Chennai, anywhere. How the maintenance is being carried out, shortcuts are being taken or not, without informing that we are coming. That is how it should be done. It should not be like it's like open market. No, it should not be there. So that aspect is very essential. So the charity begins at home. The DGCA must have one professional body which looks into all the aspects of aviation professionally and reports to the minister. And let me tell you one thing. We are very lucky the minister understands aviation, so things fall a very proper order. But in case minister may not be very aware of aviation, then he must have 2 subordinates who must be absolutely experts in aviation to keep him informed, and so that in timely basis. So these aspects will go hand in hand. Then all your aspects you're telling will be caught in no time, whether maintenance is there, whether handling of the passengers.
Indeed, and as you were talking about this, Wing Commander Bakshi, that brings me to my next question about reporting and monitoring of airports, ensuring transparency and accountability in handling fog-related disruptions. What's your view on that?
No, there are all your Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, everybody has been discussing. They're there. But are you monitoring them? If the Cat 3 provision is there, why should it should be serviceable? Bad weather is approaching. Every year this phenomena is there. We have spoken on this for a number of times. In August, September, the people start working, whether they are available or not. If they are not available, why not? What is the problem? That should be done in advance. For that, the professional should keep reporting to their head that this is going to. In advance, they must make sure that they should be able to inform the government, their head, couple of months in advance, that this is a condition, this we are expecting, and we foresee if we don't do this, this is going to happen. That aspect is very important.
Absolutely. And in the serial of SOPs, there is also this establishment of war rooms at metro airports to promptly address passenger inconvenience and round-the-clock availability of sufficient CISF manpower in managing emergency situations.
You talked of war room.
Yeah.
No, war room is not. The word war room has been used because war room runs very efficiently. All the managements, all the principles of management have been taken from military. So that is why war room word is used. There, if you run it on various airfields, say Bombay, Delhi, then every aspect should come to the operations officer in the war room, the head who is there, that the runway conditions okay, availability, his staff is okay. What is it? He has the monitoring devices, the war room there, and they should be able to inform the ATC or keep checking for administration, the head of the airfield, who is the head of the airfield, why it is not running, why the tarmac is getting so crowded, why their vehicles are not using that way or using that way, or why the aircraft are taxiing from this direction when that is open and colliding in between. Why is it so? All these things, war room can monitor. And war room this is a very brilliant suggestion. Let me tell you one thing, whoever has given the suggestion, hats off to that. This aspect has to be done and let me tell you one thing, in every airfield this should be there functioning, and he should report directly to the head of the DGCA. These war rooms should not get into any chain of command. They should be directly reporting what is happening in Delhi. Make it in a major airfields. Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, all this, Goa and all this, where there's a lot of rush and lot of load is there on the aviation aspects. War room is a brilliant idea. So when you talk of CISF, you obviously mean maintaining security and discipline. That aspect is very essential. Now, CISF, what is the SOP for CISF? We have to study. What orders have they been given? Then you will not have these scuffles and fights. I've seen some airline staff beating up an old man on the tarmac, sitting on him. I've seen this scene happening. Why should it happen? This aspect has to be looked into very severely.
Absolutely. And in that regard, I also would like to mention Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia's statement, where he assured that all the stakeholders are working round the clock to minimize the fog-related impact. So here I want to take your views on this, Wing Commander Bakshi, that what specific actions can be taken further to minimize the impact, fog-related issues in future, the situation we are seeing right now?
Yeah, see, once you know the weather phenomena, if your Met department is functioning well, then they will give you advance notice. Met efficiency is directly related to what advance notice they can give. If they can give, then fog-related phenomena may require, say, holding of the flight. It means passengers accumulating in the thing. Do you have your restaurants running? Do you have sufficient food, etc.? If there is an emergency, medical doctors, are they available? If old people are there, there's a lot of people are traveling. If there's an emergency for them, can they be put in any accommodation? That aspect should be seen. And if the flights are getting cancelled or delayed, what arrangements are there for their food, for their rest? You cannot leave them like this. And if the flight is cancelled, to which transferring them to hotel and all, that aspect has to be done absolutely efficiently. And this thing should be monitored round the clock by DGCA. That's what I'm trying to tell you. DGCA may have to increase their staff, may have to increase their budget, because a lot of load will come. But this has to be constantly monitored.
So we can summarize it like there should be live monitoring, timely communication, and also proper and adequate management. As we enter the concluding stage of our program, I want to talk about collective responsibility. Yes, we understand that there is this responsibility of airlines, DGCA, and all the management involved in flights and all that. But there is also this responsibility of passengers.
Absolutely right. It's a collective responsibility. After all, that they have entered and they will be kept and then they'll be left. No. They are responsible towards the society also. So first thing is, the Information and Broadcasting Ministry must make a little effort of creating few scenarios, showing them on television, broadcasting on the radio about these aspects, through various channels and various things. Like in my childhood days, I used to hear these things. I'm telling you, through radio, a lot of good, these instructions used to pass, including road safety, including that aspect, good manners, gentlemanly manners, this. But along with that, the monitoring has to be done. Again, tell you, by all means, keep telling, and everybody is educated. Everybody is cultured. And this should not be taken as heroism that I have slapped airline staff or I slapped nothing. No, it should not be done. It should be condemned and it should be punished at the highest order. You cannot strike a staff like this. It means you're striking the very machinery of the government. It's not the question of like this. He just happens to be an individual, but he's running something on behalf of the public, for the nation. You cannot hit him, and it was not his fault. So just because you are irritated means what? It means your level of control is very less. That is aspect. This should be broadcasted by Highway Ministry education system. Schools, etc. must be given this little instruction so that when you give it in school, it is always remembered in the old time. When you tell it to an old person, he may not remember it. So this aspect is also there. I personally feel this aspect should not only be for airline, but even for railways and roadways. All these things also should be done.
Absolutely. On that note, and with your insightful inputs, we conclude the program. Thank you so much, Wing Commander Bakshi, for joining us today on Akashvani.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on standard operating procedure for civil aviation during adverse weather conditions. The participants were Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, aviation expert, and Omvesh Upadhyay, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928-909-4044.